Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and this is a look at what's happening for your Columbus Day weekend in the Finger Lakes. After another mild week of weather, things will cool down a bit heading into the weekend before rebounding into Monday's holiday. Friday will be windy and wet with a 100% chance of rain and a high of 63. The rain will give way to partly sunny skies on Saturday with a high in the mid-50s. Sunday will be a fantastic day with temperatures rising back into the mid-60s under partly sunny skies, and then on Monday, more sun and a high in the lower 70s. Not bad for mid-October. For the complete forecast and live radar, visit our Weather Center online at fingerlakes1.com or on the free Finger Lakes One Android or iPhone app. Plenty to do this weekend, and with the leaves starting to near peak, it's a great time to get out and enjoy everything our region has to offer this time of year. The Winneck Post 396 in Geneva is hosting live country music with Al White and Country Smoke from 7 to 11 on Friday. Folks are invited to come early for a fish fry dinner from 5 to 8. There will be a $5 cover charge for the show. Also on Friday, a bullhead or steak dinner is being held at the Seneca Falls Elks Lodge from 5:30 until 8. Dinners are $14 a head. The Varick United Methodist Church is hosting its annual Fall Bazaar Saturday from 9 until 2 in Romulus. There are spots for vendors or crafters open, and you can find the information on our events page. The Boathouse Beer Garden in Romulus is hosting Brewfest on Saturday from 12 until 5. The event will include 15 craft breweries, live music, and great food, not to mention a great view of the fall foliage around Cayuga Lake. The Finger Lakes Cheese Trail is teaming up with the Finger Lakes Cider Alliance to bring you a cider and cheese Saturday as part of Cider Week in the Finger Lakes. The tour includes 14 stops and generally runs from 10 until 5 with free admission to both the creameries and cideries. A map of the tour is located at flcheesetrail.com. Another great event that gives a view of the beautiful fall foliage in our area. It's Autumn Festival of Ales time again in Honeoye Falls, and this Saturday over 3,000 beer lovers are expected to travel to the Fireman's Field to sample over 40 craft brews brewed by CB Craft Brewers. The event has live music from the High Falls Drifters, award-winning barbecue from Smokin' Pete's Barbecue, and much more. Tickets are $35 in advance and $45 at the gate, and for the designated driver in your group, a ticket is only $7 at the gate. For more information, you can visit cbcraftbrewers.com. The third annual Montezuma Aqueduct 5K run or walk is scheduled for Saturday at the Montezuma Heritage Park. The race is set on trails throughout wooded areas and along historic Erie Canal sites and the scenic Seneca River. Registration information is available at montezumarun.com. On Sunday, the Bristol Valley Theater is hosting Fiddlers of the Genesee at 2 o'clock. Toes will tap and feet will stomp as the Roots music entourage returns to the stage with waltzes, western swing, and bluegrass. Ticket prices are $15 for adults, $10 for kids, and $5 for the little ones under 12. Also on Sunday, the Skinny Atlas Boat Company is presenting a program on the history of boat building on Skinny Atlas Lake from the time of the Iroquois to today. The admission is free to members and only $6 for non-members, and light refreshments will be served. The Syracuse Orange football team is back after a bye last week and will be taking on South Florida at 3:30 on Saturday. The game can be seen on the CBS Sports Network. Week 6 of the local high school football season features a full slate of games on Friday night, with ER Gananda visiting Waterloo, Geneva at Penn Yan, Dundee at Marcus Whitman, Mid-Lakes at South Seneca, Red Jacket in Seneca Falls to face Minders, Newark at Palmac, Canandaigua on the road against Spencerport, Victor at Hilton, and a big rivalry game on Route 31 as Clyde Savannah host Lions. NFL Sunday Football heads into Week 5, and entries to our annual NFL Pick'em contest sponsored by Cicino's Restaurant in Waterloo and Geneva and Finger Lakes Partners Insurance are open through kickoff on Sunday. Pick 10 of Sunday's games every week for a chance to win a large cheese pizza. Congratulations to our Week 4 pizza winner, Steve Cooley of Seneca Falls. Next up for the Buffalo Bills is a road trip to face the Tennessee Titans on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The game will be televised on CBS. We'll have all the results and analysis at our sports page or on the FingerLakes1.com app. I'll be back in less than 60 seconds with our top 5 local photos of the week and this week's highlights from FingerLakes1.tv.
So many sights to see on the internet, but for everything local, there's no place you can get it. At FingerLakes1.com. Come on over to FingerLakes1.com. Like us your homepage. News, weather, sports, and fun. Log on to FingerLakes1.
Local news from over 40 sources, custom local weather, over 10 hours of live broadcasts and podcasts every week on your computer, tablet, television, or smartphone. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
www.fingerlakes1.com. Come on and join the fun. Log on to FingerLakes1.
www.fingerlakes1.com.
This week we feature 5 more great local photos from the last several days in the Finger Lakes. At number 5, it's been a bit hard to find leaves that have changed color with the late foliage this year, but there are a few, like this maple captured by Rachel Burkholder, and it won't be long until all the trees will be ablaze with color. In the 4th spot, Jeremy Henrys had fun times picking pumpkins at the pumpkin patch with his family on Sunday outside of Penn Yan. At 3, Shelley Lannon photographed this black-capped chickadee enjoying sunflower seeds out of an old copper teapot in Clifton Springs on Monday. At number 2, David Mead caught this tour boat on a crisp day on the Cayuga-Seneca Canal in Seneca Falls last Friday afternoon. And finally, check out our photo of the week from Carrie Smalzer, who captured the sunrise Monday morning over South Seneca High School in Ovid. Spectacular photo, Carrie. You can check out all these photos and many more and learn how to share your own local photos with our users here at FingerLakes1.com by visiting our local photos page on our homepage or app. Next, a look at what's playing in local theaters. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon, is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind by his crew. But Watney has survived and finds himself stranded and alone on the hostile planet in The Martian, which is showing at the Geneva Movieplex, the Auburn Movieplex 10, the Lake Street Plaza in Penn Yan, Canandaigua Theaters, and Eastview Mall. Also playing locally this weekend is Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, Black Mass, The Visit, Hotel Transylvania 2, and The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. For a rundown of all the movies playing this weekend, along with showtimes at theaters close to you, click on Movie Times at our homepage or on the FingerLakes1.com app. If you missed it on FingerLakes1.tv this week, FingerLakes1.com presented a live stream of the full induction ceremony of the National Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca Falls on Saturday afternoon. Here's a portion of the induction speech of Tenley Albright, one of the 10 great women inducted as part of the class of 2015.
Tenley Albright became the first American woman to win an Olympic gold medal in figure skating. Struck by polio at the age of 10, Albright was hospitalized for months and faced a daunting rehabilitation. With tremendous purpose and effort, 4 months later, she won her first skating title. Albright would become the first American woman to win a figure skating championship, as well as the first winner of figure skating's Triple Crown, when she won each of the World, North American, and United States ladies figure skating titles in a single year. Giving back to her sport, Albright has served on the International Olympic Committee and was the first woman to serve as one of the officers of the United States Olympic Committee. While skating in the early morning hours before her classes and taking intermittent leaves of absence to compete in figure skating competitions around the world, Albright completed her pre-med studies. She graduated from Harvard Medical School in 1961. Only one of 5 women in her class, a surgeon and leader in blood plasma research. Dr. Albright has worked to eradicate polio around the world through the World Health Assembly. For your pioneering achievements in the field of figure skating, your leadership in athletics, and your accomplishments in the medical profession, Tenley Albright, you are inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Jeannie. For this past week, my daughters and I have been saying, this is so emotional. We've been saying, when and how often do you ever get a chance to be with a group of such amazing women and be where everything is about women and supporting women? And over the years, I've been concerned because I feel sometimes we women don't support other women enough. I've changed my mind about that today. This is such a wonderful example of what can be done, what is being done, and what we all need to do more of. Here we are with an amazing group of pioneers and people who have done firsts in so many different things. And Elin and I were saying, well, wouldn't it be great to know about the firsts and the stories of the amazing group that has put all this together? I know from talking to some of you, you've had your own amazing firsts. And to be here with former presidents of the Hall of Fame and former inductees, and I know each and every one of you has your own story, or you wouldn't have done what you've done for women up to now. Now, our firsts are all different. I guess my introduction to first was being lucky to have a last name that started with A. In fact, when we got married, my husband said, well, maybe we should hyphenate our name, then I'll be at the top of the list too. And then I didn't realize when I was doing it, but I happened to be the first girl in a boys' school. And then the first girl to be a member of the Harvard Varsity Hall of Fame. Even though I didn't graduate from Harvard, I went after 3 years to medical school. But then to be the first woman at a couple of corporate boards, and to be the first woman on the audit committee. So there are a number of different things like that. Now, being the first surgeon on the staff of a couple of hospitals, that created some other challenges. For one thing, I had to go off the operating room floor to dictate my cases because the dictating machine was in the doctor's dressing room. When another woman joined the staff in surgery several years later, she said, I don't care. She walked right in, didn't matter who was not completely dressed or wasn't, but that wasn't quite my style. So I'm hoping for the rest of the day and tonight I'll hear about a lot of your challenges and how you've handled them. Now today, I feel I'm honored not to be first. And I don't mean just Barbara for being the first inductee. I mean, isn't it wonderful that so many firsts have been done, and then there are women in so many different positions, the heads of universities, Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Babson, University of San Francisco. I mean, there is quite an amazing step forward, and we're getting to expect that, and other people are getting to expect it too. And I do find it very emotional. It's a very powerful and strong way. And I want to thank you all for what you are doing, have done to make all this happen. And I want to thank Jeannie, and of course Jill, and Barbara for making it so extra special, and Doris, thank you so much for nominating me. We still have first to do, but with all of you that I've seen today and heard about and learned about and look forward to hearing more about, I have tremendous confidence that together we can all make it happen. So thank you again.
Congratulations, Tenley Albright.
The full webcast
Carlotta?
is available on demand, and we recommend checking out all of the induction speeches of the 10 great women who were inducted as part of the class of 2015. Another induction ceremony is coming up in Seneca Falls this weekend as the Minders Academy Athletics Hall of Fame will induct their class of 2015 on Sunday night at New York Chiropractic College, and FingerLakes1.com will be live webcasting the ceremony beginning at 6 o'clock on FingerLakes1.tv and YouTube. On Monday morning, Hall of Fame committee member Rod Verkey was a guest on Weber this week to talk about this year's inductees.
Just to give you an idea, George Capacci, class of 71, he was on the last undefeated football team at Minders. There was a team in 77 that was undefeated but had a tie. So you can take that either way you want. Went on to Coast Guard Academy. He's in the Coast Guard Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Played for Otto Graham, which to me had to be a
Amazing.
great experience. He wrestled there, played football. Just a great candidate to come in. These guys all have a lot of stuff, as you can see in our program here. They got 2 pages of stuff, but that's the highlight. Lindsay Gotham Cornu. Cornu is her married name, of course. She's a 3-sport athlete, a great athlete for Minders in 3 different sports. She went on, and she's still continuing to coach. She's in the Hall of Fame for her college, and really has been a role model, I think. When the girls' sports started, they needed girls like her to get in there and get involved and really be dedicated to the sport. And this is one that really has done that. She's out west now. Lee Letizia is probably somebody that a lot of people haven't heard of. He's one of a group of people that are a little bit earlier in our history. He was on the 1946 undefeated, untied, unscored upon.
Wow.
Which is amazing. They're in the Hall of Fame. He played 3 sports at Minders, went on to Hobart and played 4 years of football, basketball, and lacrosse. Hobart, as you know, was very well known in lacrosse. He never played lacrosse in high school. Went there, played 4 years, was team captain and All-American twice.
Amazing athlete.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people wouldn't get a chance to hear these things unless you had this Hall of Fame type thing. But really an amazing athlete. Jeff Manning graduated in 77. Of course, he played for Coach Daniels, and his quarterback was the rifle, or primetime as you want to call him, Mark Sharman.
Oh, yeah, Shark.
And he went on to the Ivy League, and I don't know how many people realize this or have an opportunity. They were 2-time Ivy League champs, which is pretty good. And he was starting on all those teams. He also played lacrosse, and very good representative for our Hall of Fame. Steve Siegfried was one of the best wrestlers we ever had here.
Yeah.
He played 3 sports, but those sports were really to get him in shape for wrestling. That was where he concentrated. His coach was Danny Carraher.
Sure.
He was brought up to the varsity as an 8th grader, and then won the sectionals freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years, which is outstanding.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever had another person that have done that. And that goes along well with our 2 contributors this year. Pete DeBatis started wrestling in Seneca Falls. He's in the Port Byron Hall of Fame. He's one of the organizers of the sectionals in Section 5, and he was on the committee for the state wrestling championship, which is very good. He went on to be a principal, as most of us know, and
Oh, yeah. Sure do.
was really the founder of wrestling. He coached Abe Myers, who went on to coach after him, and everybody knows that Abe
Legendary.
has done a great job. And we have Mike DeZolio. He is in as a contributor. And his accomplishments as far as helping Seneca Falls with all kinds of different needs, and not only Seneca Falls, that's what he's getting in for, but all the schools and people around the area, getting our new fields, if we need weight room equipment, different grants and stuff. And he's really been a good person in politics for us. So Mike is getting in this year also. He was in the class of 1969. Now we have our team, which is for Title IX, is the 1921-22 girls basketball team.
Before my time. Okay.
Yeah, I think before quite a few of us.
Okay.
We do a lot of work at the museum and the Historical Society. And Ted Novak was down there one day looking up some other things. And the woman there said, "Did you know we have an undefeated girls basketball team?" So Ted was interested, and we researched it. This team went 17-0 and is the only undefeated girls basketball team I think that we've ever had. We've had some very good ones, but
Now, was that like intramural or so different? It wasn't varsity back then, right?
well, it was a combination of different things. They had varsity sports back then, and over the years, I don't know if it was the war or what it was, but they got away from that stuff. And then, of course, we had no sports until Title IX took over in 1972. So this falls in that category, certainly. It's way before 1972. And they are certainly a deserving team to be in our Hall of Fame. And this is another thing that I don't think anybody ever would have known of
Right.
unless we had researched it.
And there can't be any representatives there from that team, can there? Is there?
If they are, I'd like to know what their health, who's taking care of their health for them. And our teams this year for the Hall of Fame are the two wrestling teams from 1966 and 67. They were coached by Abe Myers, and both of those teams were undefeated. And doing our research for the Hall of Fame for teams, we try to get the best of each sport. And these two teams, record-wise and team-wise, and as far as going on to college and playing and stuff, they fell in that category. We have Dan Hansen is coming back. He's going to speak on behalf of one of the teams, and Steve Ritter is coming back for that.
Oh, Steve, okay. Yep.
So they'll be back, and they'll be speaking on those teams.
It sounds like a good roundup. And by the way, we're going to get to Burke in just a second. Another thing I was just thinking about, a lot of people...
Check out all of this week's
probably
episodes at
approach Burke
fingerlakes1.tv or on the Finger Lakes One TV tab on our app. All of our audio programming is also streaming in rotation on Finger Lakes One Radio. Thanks for joining me for another episode of FLX Weekly. For FingerLakes1.com, I'm Jessica Lahr. Enjoy your Columbus Day weekend in the Finger Lakes.